Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Happy Monday, and we're off to a new week here in Raid, continuing along the fusion event for Cassandra. And we need to talk about this a little bit, not Cassandra specifically, but the Assassin's Creed champions. I feel like over the last 2 or 3 days, there's been a lot of random videos going out by other content creators, especially the ones in the Plarium creator program, some mixed reviews, some really raking the Assassin's Creed characters over the coals. That I guess by comparison to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that the collab just isn't as good. I want to do like a kind of like as unbiased as possible kind of objective look at the characters, and I think it's really important to understand that it's going to depend on where you're looking to use them. I think it hasn't been made 100% clear as to like why you want all five of them, or even six if you count the Pontiff Augustine. Right? There's a lot of characters in this collaboration, and where are they going to shine for you? And this might depend on where you're at in the game, what kind of characters you're looking for. So I kind of want to look at them individually, and I guess as a full Assassins team, I am kind of wondering, like, if you get all five of them, what are they really intending them to be used for? Because at least in the turtles, you kind of had like three. Well, there's four turtles, but I mean, you kind of like you could dump wrap and you could like stick in other characters. So there was more flexibility in building that team. I think the assassins as a full team might be kind of weird, but we're going to talk about that and more. Now, before we get started with the rest of the video, I do want to remind people that you can download using the QR code in the top right to make a new account or an alt account to get Narma the Returned absolutely free, and also these three amazing epics to go alongside her. We have Allure, Tagore, and Ruella at accounts level 10, 20, and 30. And don't forget to use the promo code Desert Queen to get this amazing Void Legendary Support Champion to Hanorak. So that is Desert Queen within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Okay, so let's start with the obvious, right? We're getting Ezio on, I mean, I guess it should be Wednesday, right? Before the clan versus clan goes away. So we should be getting them unlocked, and that's going to go towards points for the CEC, which is available in game right now. You can kind of see it here. Actually, I haven't checked it yet. Actually, what's the 2x for tomorrow? Faction Wars, okay, and Arena, and Forging. Okay, I have some left still, but yeah, okay, there we go. That's for tomorrow. But you should get a bonus points of like 50k for unlocking a champion for the first, or maybe no, maybe it's less than that. Sorry, 30k. 10k for legendary, and then 20k for the first time. So that would be 30k. 3 points for Ezio's unlock. Now, Ezio as a character. Now, let's talk about it very briefly, both from a new player perspective and from maybe later perspective. He's Sacred Order. So at the very least, if you need new legendary damage dealers for faction crypts and for Cursed City, for certain nodes, this might be a good character. Now, for new players for like dungeon progression and clan boss, he might have some good synergy with Xenomorph and or Narma if you have her from your starting up on the new account, because he can detonate. Let's get rid of that. We can detonate poisons, right? Which is pretty nice. So you can place 2 poisons. I don't like that it's a 75% chance though, because that basically means that you need to book this, and I would have preferred at least some poisons at 100% and maybe an extra one. There's a chance for an extra one. So that's a small issue that I have. Can't be resisted if he's under perfect veil. And then instantly activates all poison debuffs on enemies under 4 or more debuffs, which means this places 3. So you need someone else to basically place at least 1 or more debuffs before he goes, so that he can detonate the poisons immediately, which isn't bad. So he might have some functionality in Clan Boss there, right? Cooldown of 4, it's not bad. And especially with Xenomorph, because Xenomorph really plays into that poison, can really land a lot of poison, so this could be really, really powerful. Eagle Dive, that's a decreased defense debuff, so that's kind of nice too. And we have some solid, I guess, single target ignored defense kind of damage. Now, I think the assassins are largely designed to be characters for PvP, I think, right? I don't have the test server. I haven't had a chance to test them, but just my gut feeling is that a lot of that. Now, if you watched any of the creator program videos, there were some gameplay videos that existed, and you might have seen in the cutscene, right, for the assassins, that there was the Iron Twins fortress that was actually in the background of the footage for the Assassin's Creed. And so that kind of made me wonder a few things. Is like, is there going to be bumps to the Iron Twins Fortress? I swear, and I don't know where I heard this or who said it, but that there was going to be an upgrade sometime this year, maybe to stages like 16 through 25 or something like this for Iron Twins Fortress to give us more coins and souls and all of this stuff, right? I swear I heard this somewhere. I don't know where. I don't remember. It was sometime I thought over December that I heard this from a video or another creator or something in my Discord. Let me know in the comments down below if you also heard something like that and where, because I can't remember where. I swear. So, is the Assassins designed for Iron Twins Fortress? Well, I mean, you can use a full 5-man team, so that's something, I suppose. Let's talk about Cassandra, right? Because we're kind of working our way on her right now. Now, I think that there is just a bare bones good value of Cassandra for the new faction because there is nobody else, right? So she is a damage dealer character for the new Argonauts faction that ultimately you will be using for faction crypts, and especially for newer players who maybe won't be able to stack up good characters in that faction when they release, that this is a good heads up for that. So that's why I'm doing that. So we get Ezio for free, and then we get Cassandra. So those two are kind of like locked in, I think, for those of us who are doing the fusion. She gets an all battle speedor. That's nice. I mean, she could be better. My kind of issue is with her A3 is that it doesn't give a free turn. It gives her 50% turn meter, but like I guess I'm concerned that if her speed's not fast enough, even with the increased speed, like she might die or not take her turn and attack before somebody else goes. I guess it does. So if she does buff, she does actually prevent her own death, but I think it's just one time, right? So if they're under, is it prevents this champion, keeps them? Is this a one time thing or is it a permanent? So I guess you'd have to strip the buffs. Maybe she stays alive. I haven't seen the test footage, but my point is that like I prefer champions that kind of do buffs and also get an extra turn. There's plenty of them out there actually. Another good epic nuker, Mist Rider Dythe, puts up an accuracy buff and an attack buff and then takes a free turn. Just saying that there are characters that exist like that that do that. If she put this up and then immediately was able to go into her A2, I think that would be much more compelling. So as far as the damage goes, like there's some good buffs on here, right? And the stun on all enemies, that's really nice. Like I do like her kit. It's just this A3 just feels a bit weird for me. Anyways, there's a lot of turn meter reduction, so this is really nice on a single target. Could be really good on the new Argonauts faction crypts bosses, right? Because it's a crap ton of turn meter reduction. So I think there's some value with her there, and that's fine. But where are you going to use her elsewhere outside of this kind of content? Like, I don't know what kind of dungeon. It's definitely not clan boss content, but like I don't know where you're intending to use her and the assassins in the game otherwise. Like there's some faction crypt stuff that obviously you can use any good characters on. Arena, I guess, right? But it's a 4-man arena, right? It's not a 5-man arena. So that's also interesting. And I guess it's just kind of like Cursed City and Faction Crypts. Dungeons wise, maybe it's Iron Twin Fortress, right? If they're updating that. But the rest of this, like is pretty much solved. Doesn't really need any help from those other characters. Like there are lots of ways for you to accomplish all these other dungeons. So from that perspective, I'm at a bit of a loss. Let's talk about the other three characters though, because I think that there is a standout. Now, obviously, this is probably going to be the hardest character to get. I want to talk about Bayek third because I actually do like his kit, and even as a standalone character, I do like it. Apparently, some people summon them already because there's like 6 reviews, which I think is pretty funny. But anyways, they all get that. But this part here, Siva's Pride. I don't know if the W sometimes in German because I'm in Germany right now that the W is like a V. But this champion and their allies cannot receive critical hits from enemies whose accuracy is lower, equal to or lower than their own accuracy. That's nice. This could have functionality, and I think Bayek has good functionality in Hydra because the buffs are really nice. Accuracy buff, Perfect Veil, which is great for Hydra, so it's on a cooldown of 4. Increased defense, and then defense on himself for 3 turns, and it's an extra turn. I love these kind of skills. Provoke up to 2 turns potentially if they have 3 or more debuffs. It'll also decrease accuracy and resistance. So this is really nice, and this could go very well with someone like Lamassu, a Thoratrix Lamassu, who actually can reduce accuracy and resistance up to 100. So this would lower it even further, and this would basically almost guarantee that your allies cannot receive critical hits. So I could see this character being very, very good in like a defensive function in Hydra, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking of and why I might pick him up. I think he has some really good stuff, right? I like his kit. I think it's really good. It's probably the best in the entire Assassin's lineup, I think. So I am planning on getting Bayek, however it is, unless it's some sort of Void Shard pull that I'm forced to do. Then it's if they have a guaranteed event for Bayek, I'm definitely buying into it. Now, as far as the other characters go, right, we have one in Sacred Order. We have Basim, and I mean, like again, faction crypts, fine. 81 reviews already for Basim. Oh yeah, sorry, because he had that 10x on the Sacred Order, so I guess people started to unlock him. But whenever this champion is attacked, steals one random buff from the attacker. Okay, fine. Does a single target 2-hit. Might do good damage. Doesn't AoE. Ignores defense. So, I mean, he could be a very good nuker. Places block active skills, which is nice in PvP. And it ignores block debuffs as well, which is nice. So again, great for PvP. Good for wave content. Faction crypts. Block active skills is really good, actually, as a debuff. So for faction crypts, hard, especially things like this, it would probably be very, very good. But beyond PvP and faction crypts, I just don't know what the benefit is for especially players that might be approaching like say 9 to 12 months onwards where you may or may not need someone other like am I just getting him just for faction crypts? Maybe. And of course when it comes to faction crypts, you can only use like him and Ezio together and that's it. The rest of them that's what I mean is like for the rest of the team I just don't know where we're using them exactly. And then finally we have Banner Lords. And again, if you need a Banner Lords DPS, maybe there you go. And actually, maybe I do. I don't know. My Bannerlords is pretty garbage, other than Mikey. Titus is not very good by himself in faction crypts, and I don't really have a lot of great stuff in Bannerlords, so I might get him just for that. But is that why we're getting these characters, and the fact that they're limited edition, right? So once if you don't get them now, they're gone for good. So the FOMO, the limited time FOMO, maybe that's going to get some people. And I actually, this is one of my favorite characters as far as Assassin's Creed go. I haven't played a lot of the games, but like Black Flag and this guy is like one of my favorites. I like the dual swords. His kit is interesting. He also has a unique, kind of a unique buff within Snare. This is incredibly rare. I don't know there's many characters that have it. I actually had to look it up, and I think that Ensnare was specifically for the faction Hard Mythical, Polera. So I don't think very many people have this. So that's unique. But just because it's unique, does that make it good, right? April from the Teenage Turtles was very, very niche. And is Edward very good, right? Like, so he has a single target, places Veil on himself and any assassins. So it kind of, it's not the whole team, it's just assassins, so that's unfortunate, right? So it kind of pigeonholes him a little there. But it does ignore all this stuff, including Stone Skin. So maybe he hits really hard and you can one-shot a Stone Skin character, maybe, right? And then it stops them from being arrived. So if this hits hard enough, maybe, just maybe, and there's 21 reviews from people who already have him, who've summoned him randomly, I suppose. And then he's got an AoE 2 times, that's nice. Steals all buffs, decreases turn meter, and can't be resisted if he's on a perfect veil. So I guess if he goes from this to that, I guess it really depends on what you're looking to do. The second hit has a 75% chance to apply sleep and ignores block debuffs. So I do like these parts of it. The block debuffs, we're kind of skipping past it. But again, this is very PvP focused or wave content, right? Wave content is also very... If PvP characters tend to be really good in wave content, namely faction crypts kind of stuff. But does that justify wanting to unlock these characters? I don't know. Like, for me, I feel like I do need Bannerlords. I need Bannerlords characters, DPS. So I may still unlock them, but I just don't see the overall value other than him being like a very special IP kind of nuker for me, right? But as the team together, if I get all 5 of them, what is that going to do for me? First of all, you can only PvP with 4, so I guess maybe one of them's out, and I haven't really like put that much thought into who that's going to be. But I don't know. I'm actually like a little bit confused myself, and I kind of need some help from the community understanding like why we want to care a little bit. I'm not going to say I have all the answers because I don't, because if I did, I'd be saying something else. But I guess I'm just a little bit confused as to, other than the limited time FOMO, why do we want this team of 5? Where are we going to use them primarily? Or 4? Or who's, I don't know who's going to be left out. I mean, I don't see them all being in Hydra in a clan boss. Bayek to me is like the only one, I think, who looks viable enough to run in Hydra. And so, and maybe Chimera, I'm not sure. But anyways, like Bayek looks good. The other two, as a unit, it's not Turtles. I don't expect them to be turtles, but I'm wondering if the community does, because after having the full team of the turtles and whatever, and the amount of basically clean sweeping that they were able to do, the turtles could clean sweep pretty much all the content, like all the dungeon content. I'm not expecting the assassins to do that, but I'm wondering if some people in the community might be kind of underwhelmed because they're not sure exactly where to use them. And that's where I currently sit at. So I would love your guys' help to kind of maybe theory craft or to talk about, even in the comments, about where we would see their use, especially for those of us who might be like close to 1 year played now, about like what we want to do with them. Anyways, I guess we'll just leave it there, and there's some thinking to do. Obviously, there's probably going to be some guaranteed events coming down in the next month or two for some of these characters, and I probably will go to unlock them. I hope they're not being benched, because like, or I hope some of them aren't being benched, because like I have April still, and she's like sitting at 50, and I barely touched her. Like, I don't use her, so I don't know. I want some more good non-benched characters, I guess, is what I want to say. Anyways, that's it for me in my little rant here. Let me know what your thoughts are. Before we go, though, I do want to remind you that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, what are you waiting for? Download using the QR code in the top right to get an arm of the returned and these 3 amazing champions. We get Allure, we got Tagore, and we got Ruella at accounts level 10, 20, and 30. And don't forget to use this promo code to get the Void Legendary Support Champion to Hanorach. She's amazing, by the way. Use the promo code Desert Queen within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. That's it for me, everyone, and I'll see you guys all on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.